Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel today. I have a little guest. So I've been asked a few times about his growth hormone injection, growth hormone deficiency, Panhypopituitarism, I can't say that word, update. So I thought I would go through what tests he's had done, how it come about, what he had, and a little update on how much he's grown. Should we do that?
Yes.
Okay. Off with how we knew. Actually, I might go further back than that and say about his birth, because they all think that's linked to that now, and I do. So yeah, he is in here, I'll just warn you. And all the checks during my pregnancy, because I have a high BMI, I was meant to see a consultant with Stanley, which was appointment was never made. I never got any letters. I phoned them. Apparently I'm not even on the system, and the midwife said to me, because he's your third, they probably don't need to see you. So that was it. So I missed out on growth scans, extra checkups and all that jazz, which now looking back he needed desperately, but obviously she didn't push further for it. And when he was born a day late, and he was a natural breech delivery, a surprise natural breech delivery, because they had no clue he was a breech due to not having any scans or any checkups or nothing. Well, I had the two main scans, but that was it. And then he was born £6.10, but only on I think he was the 8th percentile. Bearing in mind Grace was 75. San. And Stanley was 8. I can't remember what Jack was, but he was, I think he was 10, but
no, he's a teen.
He's a teen, okay. We knew there was issues with Jack because he had to have extra scans, mainly because of what's happened with Stanley. That's the only reason why. But he did measure small. He was £6.3, which isn't small, but it is compared to Grace, who was £7.12. Stan?
Are you my friend?
Yeah, you're just playing a game. Shush. Anyway, roll on to 9 months, and apparently that's when he stopped growing. And then I realised he was very different compared to my nephew, who's 6 months younger, and I took him to be checked over at the health visit at 18 months, I think it was. 18 months? Yeah, 18 months, which he weighed £17 dead on and was only 72 centimetres, which, looking back now, he was the size of a 9-month-old at 16 months. Oh, 18 months actually. It's 18 months, sorry. And we were then, that's what got the ball started rolling. She realised he wasn't on the charts, and he needed to be seen by a paediatrician, is it, or consultant? I can't remember. I think it was a consultant. And that's where it started from there. And I will now go into detail about the test. I did just record this part and forgot to press record. I did film this part but forgot to press record, that's the word I'm saying. But anyway, where can I start? So I'll go through the tests. I think that's what I finished up on. So he obviously went to the doctors at 18 months, and we got things going when he was about 2, and he had all his bloods tested, and he come back that he did have low iron. I'm not sure of the numbers because we aren't given the paperwork, so we are, but not with numbers. And then because he had very loose poos, like literally like water, which we now think is down to the fact he had low iron, and they gave him some medicine. We think that was that in the end. But they tried a dairy-free diet, which didn't make any difference and was just expensive. So we didn't need to do that. He then had an X-ray, can never say that, and it showed that his bone age was 9 months at 2 years old. And I'm trying to think what else he had. He had the genetics test, which is the microarray, which is like testing. Yeah, I think that's the word you use. Testing like the common syndromes, like cerebral palsy, or like them sort of ones, the big ones, not like rare ones, because they honestly thought he had Silver Russell syndrome, and I didn't even think that would have shown on that test, but they weren't worried, so we moved on to other things. When he was about 2.5, no, yeah, 2.5, because we saw so many people and over months, and we've been around in Brooks Addenbrooke's, we've been to our local hospital, James Paget, and we've been to the Norfolk and Norwich. We've been about. I won a lower stuff one for the genetics consultant. And he then had this STIM test, which is to check levels of growth hormone and other hormones. I think that's right. And you fast for 12 hours, or it could be 24, I can't remember. I think it's 12 for kids. And you have you're pumped with some glucose. This is what I've been told by his doctor. I don't 100% know. They pump their body with glucose, and they see how their body react. It's like a glucose tolerance test when you're pregnant, I think. And then they test to see what levels your bloods are going at, what level you're coping with. But because he was so little and he didn't eat all the way through, he never ate anything. So trying to get a cannula into... Someone's banging, I wonder what it was. Trying to get a cannula... Check away. Trying to get a cannula into a 2-year-old was really hard that hadn't eaten or drinking, so they tried about 10 times and they just couldn't do it. They got a tiny bit of blood, which they said was enough for now, and his little hands were all swollen up and he was just tiny. Imagine like a 9-month-old size. That was horrible. And they said they got enough to see that he had severe growth hormone deficiency at that moment in time, so they started growth hormone straight away, which they don't usually do before an MRI, I've been told. Because he's such a strange case to them, they started it. And next up, I'm trying to think, oh, he then had an MRI to look for brain tumours, a tumour on the brain, to see if something was pressing on his pituitary gland, which there wasn't, thankfully. But they found out his pituitary gland was upside down, half the size it's meant to be, in the wrong place, I think, which was someone who had Panhypopituitarism. I will link all these words down below because I just can't say. But as is no other hormones were affected at the time, they've put him down as growth hormone deficiency, but his consultant has said that will lead to panhypo. Sorry if the angle keeps changing. Jack's asleep in the bedroom and Dave's on note, so I'm trying to catch him before we wake Dave up. Just I thought you were staring then. So I will then go on to, so he had the STIM, well, sort of STIM test in October, and we finally started growth hormone on the 3rd of December 2018, I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. It took so long from October to December because you have to have a nurse come round to show you how to inject, and that was the only date she had. They have to travel 5 hours, and she's the only one in this area who could do it, so that's why it took so long. But I will give you a breakdown on what happened. Let me just find out. Hang on. Right, so yeah, he started growth hormone at nearly 3. So he was free. He had been free on the 10th of January, and he started this on December the 3rd. His start weight was 21 pounds. He had been putting weight on, but they'd been giving him powders to bulk him up, and he was still only 75 centimetres, so he hadn't grown for about 18 months now, we're looking at. So at his first checkup, because he has one every 4 months. Yep, that's right. I'm just trying to read out what I've put it all wrong. So his next appointment was April 2019, and he was 23 pounds, so he'd put on 2 pounds, was pretty good for him, and a whopping 81 centimetres, which was about 6 centimetres in 4 months, which is brilliant. His following appointment was the August of 2019, and he was 84 centimetres, and November he was 87 centimetres, and his next appointment was obviously January. Oh, he had an appointment in January where he was 89 centimetres, and his next appointment was this April, at the end of April. Because of COVID, we obviously couldn't go in, and he was 90 centimetres, which we done from home, so it's only, we can't really go by that, but it's looking good. And so since he started in 2018, December 2018, he's grown 15 centimetres, so a year, what are we in, year about 18 months. He's grown 15 centimetres. I think it's 18 months. I've lost all time, whatever's going on at the minute. My brain's frazzled. I didn't even know what day it was. I thought it was Friday, but it's actually Wednesday. Yeah, I think. We have been told he will likely lose all his hormones at some point gradually, or a big huge, I don't know, change. I don't really know what to expect. We haven't really been told a lot. We are going through a few things at the minute, which they're concerned about diabetes because he drinks a lot and wheezes a lot. But he either eat a lot one day or he drink a lot the next day, so I don't really know. They're still looking into that. They're also concerned because he does this thing. I've worked out actually, when the weather get really hot, he has days when he yawns. It sounds ridiculous, but he yawns and yawns and yawns and yawns, like literally like as if he hadn't slept for a month. Do you know what I mean? Them sort of yawns, like where you can't stop yourself. Even though he's had a brilliant night's sleep, he has a burning hot temperature, like really hot to touch, and his eyes just look glazed, and he's just dizzy, and sometimes he's sick and then he falls asleep. If not, he just falls asleep, and he can be asleep for hours. He's been tested for epilepsy. He had the is it EEG on your head? Not that long ago. I've got videos of near enough all these tests, like them. I think I've got, what ones have I got? I've got the MRI. I think I've got a couple. I'll try and link them all down below. I've got his growth hormone first delivery. I'm trying to think what videos I've got. So yeah, that's being looked into. They're not sure what that is, but that is at the stage we are at. He doesn't sleep. He's on metalonum to help sleep, which in my opinion is rubbish. We're not still getting any sleep. He's currently in just about age 2 to 3 clothes ish. If they're cuffed bottoms or elasticated waist, then fine, but his school trousers for September, if they go back, are 2 to 3, and they are huge. So we're struggling a bit on uniform side. Like, he's still a size, he went from a size 2 at the beginning and he's now a size 6, so that's a big growth in shoes. And if anyone's looking for tiny shoes, can I just say, Converse do little ones. Next have 2 or 3 now baby sizes, well not baby sizes, small sizes now and again. I found putting him in leggings a lot easier than jeans because they sort of like fitted him a bit nicer. Jack's awake. Pants wise, I found B&M because they were a lot smaller. And yeah, that's about it. So any questions, please leave them down below. I'm sorry if this is a ramble, but I'm trying to explain it, and we've been through so much, well, he has as well, it's hard to remember. But thank you for watching. Ask any questions, please do, please, that would be lovely. And I will see you another day. Goodbye.